Welcome back to Unfiltered Fiction. I'm your host, Chloe Gong, and this is my rant about Foul Heart Huntsman by Chloe Gong. Spoilers ahead if you haven't read the book yet. I have a no spoilers review, which I've linked in the description below, and let's get started. So, of course, if you haven't already watched the normal review, my overall rating of the book ended up being a 4.6. Which is measured by 7 categories, which are rated individually. So we will be breaking down those categories further because I need to rant. So number 1, quality of writing, 4.6. Can't really rant about the quality of writing unless it's really bad, but it wasn't bad, so moving on. Number 2, character development, 4.0. Phoebe and Silas. I feel like they're the ones who developed here. I feel like it's their story. It's not like Roz and Orion can get out of here. It's Phoebe and Silas, okay? They like crack open their shells much more in this book, and we really get to see who they are, which I have some opinions about, I suppose, which we will get to in a little bit. But I think the next person who I learned developed was Celia, as she opens herself up and allows herself to be loved by Oliver and to just accept that and take that in and fully embrace that. The relationship's adorable. I love it. The third person fourth, who I really saw kind of develop was Lady Hong. I have some words about her. Not very nice ones, but she certainly developed. Kind of figures out that leaving your children and to go work on a government project that's not your own government's is kind of messed up and kind of wrong and kind of traumatizes your children to just leave them at home with their workaholic father for the rest of their lives. So, that's some great character development. Okay, here's the fun one. Character strengths, a 4.9. I love these characters. They're so fun. Rosalind has been bumped up to a 9 out of 10. I think because she kind of drops the fortune act, which was the stoic, very gang kind of attempted revenge seeking, trying to make up for past mistakes kind of person, and how much that was holding her back, I think, was just really interesting to see her struggle with and to find a way to get around that and all that. Also, I love her sibling relationship. Love her relationship with Celia and her relationship with Alyssa. I don't know, she makes such great relationships, and I love them. Orion made it to a 10. He's a 10 out of 10. He gives me Peeta Mellark vibes though. The closer I got to the end of the book, I was like, it's giving Peeta. With the memory, with the memory disappearing, it's giving Peeta. It's giving Hunger Games. Not really. It's not giving Hunger Games, but Orion is giving Peeta, and do I like it? I guess so. I didn't really like Peeta, I guess. I don't know. It's been a very long time since I read The Hunger Games. Should I read it again? I know the new one just came out. Should I read The Hunger Games? You should comment down below if I should read The Hunger Games. It's because of the memory loss. He's like Peeta because of the memory loss, I think, is just what I'm getting at. But so much sweeter. It's literally, oh my god, he's literally Peeta, just a different font. That's crazy. And I think he bumped up to a 10, not because of the Peeta part, but because he's not as annoyingly self-sacrificing anymore. Which is also like Peeta. Okay. Our third person is Oliver. We give him an 8 out of 10 this time, mostly because of his relationship with Celia and because he got kidnapped. I feel bad, but like they're getting married, so like I kind of have to because I love Celia. She's so sweet and innocent, and just she's not innocent. She's seen held back, but like, come on, the relationship is so sweet. Like I love it. I love it. But you know what rubs me? You know what rubs me the wrong way? When he calls her sweetheart. Like, I don't know what about it. It rubs me the wrong way. It's one of those, like, pet names that authors give people that it just doesn't sit right with me. Like, I saw a reel about this the other day, and it was like authors make the men give their, like, love interest such weird nicknames. And that's so true. I'm literally, like, cringing every time he calls her sweetheart. I don't know why. It's not even that bad. It just gives me the ick. Okay, Celia. Celia is a 9 out of 10 because she's getting married, and I love Celia. She's so sweet and innocent and just a ray of joy, I feel like, despite everything that she's been through and done, and just I thought it was great. I thought that was a great relationship, and I'm so happy that she's getting married, and good for them. I'm happy. I'm like so, I don't know, so hyped. Can I be at the wedding, please? Alyssa got a 10 out of 10. She needs no explanation. She's hilarious. I love her. My spirit animal, who I strive to be, who I want to grow up to be. Like, she's everything. The only thing I put in my outline was a heart. So Silas is 9 out of 10. I love Silas. I think he's a great guy, and I think that's just like feelings that I still have from last book when he wasn't whatever he is now. Like, his underlying personality of not innocent and not like awkward and corny and nerdy was not very clear. Okay, I did not pick up on that, which was kind of disappointing. I don't really like his underlying personality. Like, I love normal Silas. Bring normal Silas back. Okay, it's like Phoebe's was very heavily touched on, and Silas's wasn't, and it really threw me off, I think. And the only Silas I can picture is the awkward, nerdy kid. His obsession with Priest was interesting. I thought it seemed real. I thought it seemed logical. He's just like trying to find answers to save his best friend and his like non-romantic soulmate. So like his obsession with Priest seemed like logical and real to me. Like I don't know if it did to anyone else. Like it just seemed like something that someone would do, of like you lose something and you become obsessed with trying to get it back. And if you think this one person who has all the answers, then you're going to chase them and chase them and chase them and chase them, even though they might just be right in front of you and can't help. Maybe I rate a 9 out of 10. She needs no introduction. She's Priest. She's the GOAT, I would say. Very complicated person of like her underlying personality and like breaking out of like the societal mold that she was kind of put into, and that she really emphasized and had a hard time kind of getting out of and staying in, I guess. But I also, besides her relationship with Silas, I really liked her relationship with Lady Hong, and that like mother-daughter like bond that they shared but didn't share at the same time. And I thought that was complicated and just beautiful and like almost realistic, but like I don't know if anyone's really gonna be in that situation of their mother using them as an experiment. So that's interesting. I mean, I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure somebody's mother used them as an experiment at some point in history. It's probably a very easy Google search away that I don't feel like doing. Okay, the next person was Dalfing. I gave him a 7 out of 10. Number 1, still can't get over that you're a communist. That was a really hard betrayal. That felt personal. And I have no attachment to you, but I felt that one real deep, okay? I also think that he died a little too quickly. Like, there could have been a lot more bonding. I don't know. Like, felt very quick, very rushed. I don't know. Didn't really like that he died. Here's my biggest problem with this book. Where did Lao Lao go? Where did my homie go? Okay, where did my sweet old grandmother house landlord lady go? Why is she not here? Come back. Okay? Like, are you on your own adventure that we're gonna see in the next 5 years? I don't think so. So where are you? Not Lao Lao. Why you cut Lao Lao out, bro? What? It's Lao Lao. Everyone loves Lao Lao. How can you not love that sweet old lady? Okay, my next person is Yemen. 6 out of 10. Who is this man's father? Like, genuinely, who is his dad? Like, he's like, what, 19? And then, like, in charge of the covert ops unit of a nationalist government? Like, what? And he's not even really part of the government because he's Juliet and Roma's inside guy? Juliet and Roma, I rated both of them a 9 out of 10, mostly because I have not read the duology that comes before this, These Violent Delights. I have not read that. The first book is on my shelf, but it is on the bottom of my TBR because I do not feel the need to really read it. But I thought it was a cute relationship, without much of the backstory to that and like the history that happened there, but I love that they're still running a gang, even though like the other ones kind of like fell, and they still have a whole like branch of just people they can like call and be like, hey, gotta cash in this favor, gonna like, like that kind of thing. Favors are powerful things. Also, Rosalind poisoning them was kind of messed up. I do not approve. I do not approve of poisoning your cousins, your cousin-in-laws. Okay, don't do that. Don't poison people. That's not very nice. Not much good can come out of it unless they're like the worst person in the entire world. But to the entire world, not just to you. I thought like Juliet and Rosalind's relationship was very like older sister like, and I don't have an older sister, so that was like, it was very healing, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Do I want an older sister? No. But she'd probably bully me, like, I don't want that, but like, it was very older sister like, and I thought that was very insightful. Also, Roma and Alyssa, like, classic older brother, like, jokes. It's all a joke. It's all a joke. It means nothing, okay? So someone messes with your sibling, okay? Then it's like, only I can mess with my sibling, okay? You are going down. Only I mess with him, okay? That was what this relationship was giving, and I am here for it, okay? Lawrence? I gave him a 5 out of 10. He was a very, plot-heavy character, but also not part of the plot, and he just kind of appears out of nowhere. And he didn't seem to have a lot of motivation for doing anything whenever they asked him to. Like, find the cure, I don't, why would he do that? Like, genuinely. I don't know, he was, important to the plot, but he also wasn't there, and he also didn't really have any stakes to do what they wanted him to do, and it kind of felt forced. Okay, Lady Hong, 4 out of 10, okay? I'll play devil's advocate. For a minute before I go on and rant about how much I hate this moment. But, devil's advocate for a second. Some people get so focused on the future that they forget that the present is more important than the future. And that's what she does. And she's just so focused on the future and saving them from an event that may or may not happen. Even if it has a high probability of happening, she's so focused on that one event and saving people from it that she cares about, that she forgets that these people are living in the present. And if you don't do things in the present now, if you don't connect with people now, what are they going to remember about you? That you weren't there, that you were focused on something else, that you didn't care about them. When you do care about them, you were doing everything that you were doing for them. But for a future them that may or may not exist, you don't know what's going to happen to someone. They might die in the next 10 minutes. And that's it. That's all the time that you get with them. The future technically doesn't exist. It is a construct of the human brain and perception of the fourth dimension, I guess. It doesn't exist. The future will never be here. It may feel like the future's here, but it's not. It's not. There will always be something else. Until the end of time, if there is an end of time. The ends, they don't really justify the means. If the ends are so far away that it takes your entire life to do something, and it's such an important lesson that you don't really realize that you haven't learned until you learn it. The present is really the only thing that you can be certain of, technically. But the present is also a human construct. The entire world is a human construct, including math. Okay? Math. We have beef. Okay, the plot. I rated 4.7. The climax. What was the climax? It felt like the climax was at the prison. The prison was intense. Okay, the prison, it felt like there was tension. It felt like there was stakes and so much to lose. That felt like the climax. And then when we got to the house, which was I think the actual intended climax, the house felt so dull and so bland that it didn't feel like the climax, and it didn't have the tension that the prison did. And I feel like the prison took away from the house scene, which I don't know. I felt like the prison should have been the climax, and it wasn't, but I do not make the rules. Here are my plot questions, because this book excites a lot of plot questions, okay? Some massive plot holes. Why did Lawrence come so willingly to wherever they were going? I forget. Lawrence just doesn't make sense to me. He was so willing to do what they wanted to do. It didn't make sense to me. there was nothing in it for him. And I really struggle with this in like my own writing too, so I understand where this is like coming from, but like he was important to the plot, but like there was literally nothing in it for him. And I understand the struggle of like trying to come up with something for that, but like like this is a published book. I love this book, by the way. It's my dad in me, the nitpickiness, choosing one bad thing and focusing on it. Also, why was he at the lab in the middle of a war? Like, the city is on fire. Like, go home. Like, get out of the city. Like, I don't know. Get out and stay out. Like, common sense. Also, why was her dad in the story? Like, I understand, like, it was probably a little Easter egg from, like, the duology. Like, why was he there? There was, like, no point. Really, unless I, like, missed something of, like, where he was important. He just, like, had control over her financial records for some reason. I don't know. It didn't seem necessary, I suppose. Another unnecessary... What was that gold bar thing? Like, did anything come of that? Did I miss a chapter? Like, this is the same question that I had last time. Like, nothing came of it. Like, it was just so random and unnecessary. Like, was there going to be something with it? And then, like, you took it out last minute, and so we're just left with this weird cliffhanger thing of, like, we know his name, but we don't know what he was doing, and all that. Those are my plot questions. I don't know. Maybe I missed a chapter, and like you have the answer to any of them, please comment down below, because these questions keep me up at night and give me nightmares. And five is the setting. I rated this a 5 stars again. 1932 Shanghai, the war, I felt like, and the tension surrounding that was beautiful and like wonderfully crafted, and the complexity of the politics that was explored without really taking away from the storyline was like very well done, I felt. And that's one of the aspects that I really enjoyed about this book, was like the politics and the tensions surrounding that. And it just felt very real, like you were like in that, and like all that. Like the chemical and scientific properties were believable enough. As a high school student who was taking biology, like I didn't see any wrong things in there. So I don't know. Good job. Science is so hard to write. Currently in the middle of writing a science fiction novel. It's absolute torture. The amount of research that I have to do about like quantum physics and like time displacement and the theory of relativity is insane. Like, there's so many, like, I'm about to get like an physicist degree from the amount of like times that I've like Googled space physics terms and how space works. It's hard to do like scientific things when you have no real knowledge of it. So I thought it was believable enough. I thought it was commendable. I like the scientific chemicals things, so props to Gong. Number six, pace was, I gave a 5 stars. I don't remember it being slow or too fast at any point, which is nice and much less confusing than the last one. So that was nice. That was nice. The ending I rated a 4.3. Satisfying? I don't know what it was, but it wasn't. It didn't give me that feeling that like you get after like you finish reading a good book. Like, it didn't feel like, you know that calmness that like washes over you of like, yes, and then like the grief that comes because it's finished. Like that didn't happen. Like the calmness didn't come. Like I felt like there was more, and there wasn't. But it was wholesome. The ending was incredibly wholesome. I loved the epilogue. The epilogue bumped it from a 3 to a 4.3. Okay, so the epilogue bumped it from somewhere in the 3s to a 4.3. So like, I liked the epilogue. The epilogue was very satisfying for me. The actual ending of the book was not necessarily, and I don't know what it was. I think the prison ruined it, but I also don't know. I just felt like there was more. Okay, themes, yay, true love. Specifically Orion and Ross, of course, obviously, our favorite main characters in this book, because there are only main characters in this book. That like connection that after he like loses his memories was like very like poetic, but like their connection was very wholesome and like squeal worthy, I suppose. Siblingship, specifically Orion and Oliver rebonding after the prison, we like figuring out that childhood emotional trauma that came from their past and all that, along with Celia and Rosalind's like just clean dynamic of like sisterhood bickering and just love and tough love. Tough love is the best kind of love. Loyalty and trust and the building with that group was very prevalent. And loyalty and trust, I think this was demonstrated very well, is a two-way street. Okay? You can't full-heartedly trust and be loyal to one person without that person trusting and being loyal to you, because then you're going to let each other down. Friendships are a two-way street. Good ones, anyway, and they're hard to come by, and they're hard to get and build, and that's just one of the great mysteries and problems of life. My point for finding one's true self. I really found this in Phoebe and Silas. Phoebe with her high society and her mother's pressures like weighing her down and so like suppressing her. And then Silas, because he's constantly undercover. He's always doing that. Nationality. I think it really touched on that loyalty to your country should come second to your beliefs. Morality above the protection of a country. Like your beliefs should go above your country, because if you don't have your beliefs, then what are you? I don't know. That's what I pulled from it. Some food for thought, because we're supposed to be getting things out of this. Okay, my first educational quote, because some food for thought is supposed to be educational and enlightening, like this podcast. Okay, so this was said by Rosalind. You can't cure something that doesn't technically exist. I mean, some solid food for thought. Now this next one, Celia said, if I am to do some good, then I must make peace with my own limits. And I actually love this next one by Aldo, the Orion's butler, I guess. I actually find this incredibly insightful. And that's that people can be capable of terrible things and hold love in their hearts at the same time. That is the complexity of mankind. And that's just some words to sit in you. I don't know. Maybe they spoke to you. Maybe they didn't. And that's okay. We read books for the hell of it, or to learn something, or both. Might be a subconscious thing that you just absorb, and, it just all reciprocates and somehow makes you a better person. And that's great. That is it. I'm your host, Chloe Stike, and this was Unfiltered Fiction.